after after some days, like after 6 months to 1 year, then whenever the lady who will stop the lactating to the infant baby, then the cells which are present in the breast will undergoes apoptosis, then the size of the breast will get decreased. This is the second condition, that is hormonal withdrawal. Hormonal withdrawal is the second condition which results in apoptosis under physiological conditions. Now let us consider the third condition. Let us consider, this is one T cell receptors. This is one T cell in which it produces T cell receptors. This is T cell receptor. Now these T cell receptors will bind to the they will bind to the only infected cells, but in some cases these T cell receptors will bind to the different types of cells, so that it results in apoptosis. To avoid this condition, these T cell receptors in which excessively produced will get inhibited. That is action of T cell receptors. By decreasing the action of T cell receptors, it results in apoptosis, which is one of the physiological factor of apoptosis. Now let us consider the fourth factor. Let us consider, this is our bone marrow house. Inside the bone marrow house, it produces RBCs and it will produce WBCs, or it may produce platelets. Our red bone marrow can produce RBC, WBC and platelets in normal condition, but in some cases our bone marrow can produce more number of cells, so that the RBC count will increase and WBC count will increase and platelet count will be increased. So in some cases the RBC which is produced in high number will undergoes apoptotic pathway, so that the number of cells will get decreased in case of this bone marrow. This is fourth condition. And next condition, that is in gastrointestinal tract. In gastrointestinal tract, let us consider this is our gastrointestinal tract, in which it consists of these microvilli. Let us consider, this is the structure of microvilli. Now at the under layer of this microvilli, it will result in secretion of newly synthesizing cells. These are newly synthesized cells. Now these newly synthesized cells will move to this anterior layer and will be accumulated here, and from here it will undergo apoptosis and will be gone through the stools. In this way, some will undergo apoptosis through the gastrointestinal tract. These are some examples of physiological factors which results in apoptosis, and there are some pathological conditions. Let us discuss some pathological conditions. That is, first one is severe damage to the inner side of the cell. Severe injury to the cell. It may be nuclear damage, or mitochondrial damage, or there may be endoplasmic reticular damage. severe injury to the cell which results in pathological conditions. There may be damage to the nucleus, or there may be damage to the mitochondria, or there may be damage to the endoplasmic reticulum. These three conditions will result in pathological apoptosis. This is first condition. And in case of viral infections, this is also one of the pathological condition which results in apoptosis. And next, third condition is improper function of p53 gene. Improper function of p53 gene. This improper function of p53 gene will be discussed in last topic at this lecture. And improper function of p53 gene will result in apoptosis. These are some physiological and pathological conditions during the embryology and hormonal withdrawal and activity of TCR, action of TCR, and to decrease the number of RBC, WBC platelets in case of bone marrow, and in case of gastrointestinal tract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 are included under the physiological conditions, and these are pathological conditions in which severe injury to the cell, that may be nuclear damage or mitochondrial damage or endoplasmic reticular damage, or there may be viral infection which results in apoptosis, or there may be improper function of p53 gene which results in apoptosis. These are some physiological and pathological conditions which results in apoptosis. Now, if we discuss about the molecular mechanisms of apoptosis. Molecular mechanisms of apoptosis. This molecular mechanism of apoptosis will be divided into two branches, or the mechanism can be done by two pathways. One is, first pathway is extrinsic pathway. And the other one is intrinsic pathway. One is extrinsic pathway and other one is intrinsic pathway. This extrinsic pathway is also called death pathway. It is also called death pathway. And this intrinsic pathway is also called mitochondrial pathway. Once again, molecular mechanisms of apoptosis includes two pathways. One is extrinsic pathway and other one is intrinsic pathway. This extrinsic pathway is also called death pathway, and this intrinsic pathway is also called mitochondrial pathway. First, let us discuss about extrinsic pathways. First one is extrinsic pathway. Now, extrinsic pathway. How does this extrinsic pathway work means? Let us consider one cell. Let us consider this is one of the cell, and this is cell membrane. This is cell membrane of a normal cell, and on the surface of cell membrane, it consists of special types of receptors. These special types of receptors are let us consider these are the two receptors which are present on surface of cell membrane. Now these are receptors present on surface of cell membrane which are inactive form. Now these receptors are called death receptors. These will be in inactive form. Now these death receptors will be activated by death initiators. These blue colors are the death initiators. These death initiators are examples: Fas ligands. Fas ligand. These death initiators are like Fas ligands, and the examples of death receptors includes Fas protein or else tumor necrotic factor. Tumor necrotic factor. These are the two death receptors in which Fas and tumor necrotic factors are the death receptors which are inactive form. Now this Fas ligand which is attached to this death receptors. Now these death receptors will get activated and it will produce special domains. At the posterior sides of these receptors. These are called death domains. These are called death domains. Now, whenever these death domains are activated, it will result in attachment of adapters. These death domains will result in activation of adapter molecules. These are the adapter molecules. These are called death adapters. These are called death adapters. Now, whenever these death adapters are activated inside the cell, now inside the cell there is special types of proteins. Let us consider. This is one protein. The name of this protein is proteases. It belongs to the family protease. Now, these protease will get attached to these adapters. It will react with these adapters. Now, results in formation of this protease is in inactive form because it is surrounded by peptide molecules. This is peptide molecule. It is surrounded by peptide molecule. Whenever this inactive form of protease is reacted with these death adapters, this inactive protease will get converted into activated protease. Now, inactive form of protease will get converted into active form of protease. This is the active form of protease. Now, this exact name of this protease is caspase. Here it is procaspase and it is caspase. Now, this is caspase. This is caspase molecule. Now, these caspase which are produced from inactive form of caspase is called initiatory caspase. That is initiatory caspase proteins, in which these caspase molecules will consist of amino acids at their ends. These red color dots are called cysteine amino acids. These are specific to cysteine amino acids. Now, caspase are the proteins in which it belongs to the protease family, which consists of cysteine in it, and they are specific to the aspartate. Now, whenever this caspase is activated, there is special. This is a protein. This protein consists of different types of amino acids. Like it is one amino acid, and next one is this amino acid is aspartate, and this is aspartate, and here this is aspartate. Now, this caspase contains cytosine. This caspase contains cysteine in it. Now, it will act upon only at the site of aspartate. They will cut at the edges of only aspartate. They will be cutting in the edges of aspartate. Now, this is one function of caspase. This is the action of initiative caspase. Now, whenever the initiative caspase is activated in our cell, there is one more special types of caspases, which are inactive. This is inactive caspase, which is coated with peptide bonds. Now, whenever this initiative caspase is activated in our body, now this initiative caspase will react with another caspase molecule. Now it converts into another types of caspase molecule. This special types of cutter is called executive caspase. The name of this caspase is executive caspase. Here the name of this caspase is initiative caspase, and this is executive caspase. Now, whenever this executive caspase is formed, the function of this executive caspase is, they have three functions. The first function is it will act on cytoskeleton. It will act on cytoskeleton and will damage the cytoskeleton. It will damage the cytoskeleton. This is the first function. Cytoskeleton of the cytoplasm, and this is first function. And the second function is they will damage the DNA material. They will damage the DNA material. That is second function. And the third function of executive caspase is, in our cell there is a DNase enzyme is present. It will be inactive form, and that will be activated with the help of executive caspase, and it will be conversion of results in this is, let us consider this is DNA material. Now this DNA material with the help of executive caspase will be broken down. Now these are the products of this executive caspase. One is it damages the cytoskeleton and it will damage the DNA material and it results in fragmentation of DNA. Now these are the three products which are accumulated in the cytoplasm. Now it will reach to the, these three products will reach the membrane. Now the cell membrane will be bulged outside. It will be bulged outside from the cytoplasm or from the cell membrane. It consists of cytoskeleton and it consists of the genetic material, and it also consists of chromatin or any other particles. Now this entire structure is called apoptic bodies. Which is produced from the cell membrane of normal cell whenever it undergoes apoptosis. After some time it will be detached and results in death. In this way, the extrinsic pathway will be taking place in our body, that is extrinsic pathway through the death receptors which are activated by the Fas ligands. After it produces death domains, and after death domains adapters are produced. After adapters, protease enzyme will get converted into initiative caspase. This initiative caspase will have a function of cutting it aspartate. After initiative caspase, it results in formation of executive caspase. This executive caspase will damage the cytoskeleton and will damage the DNA material and will damage the, or will result in fragmentation of DNA. Now after these products accumulated in the inside the cell, there will be bulging of cell membrane outside, that is called apoptic bodies, in which it consists of this digested material. These are called pockets of cell membrane, that is called apoptotic bodies, and will be detached from the surface of RBC, from the surface of the cell, and will get detached here. After some time, with the enzymatic action, not only enzymatic action, it will be ingested by the macrophages. It will be ingested by the macrophages, and the macrophages will eat these apoptic bodies, will result in death of the cell. This is extrinsic pathway through the death receptors. This is first type of pathway. Now let us discuss second pathway, that is intrinsic pathway. This intrinsic pathway is mediated by mitochondria. This is also called mitochondrial pathway. Now let us discuss what is this intrinsic pathway in detail. Let us consider this is one cell. This is one cell in which it consists of two types of gene, in which it consists of one type of special type of gene which is called pro-apoptic genes. Let us consider these are the special genes pro-apoptic genes. These are called pro-apoptic genes. Now, these pro-apoptic genes should be balanced by another special types of genes. There should be balance between these two genes. These pro-apoptic genes should be balanced by another type of genes that are called anti-apoptic genes. These are anti-apoptic genes. Anti-apoptic genes and pro-apoptic genes. Now, these anti-apoptic genes are responsible for the living condition of the cell, whereas these pro-apoptic genes are responsible for the death of the cell. Now, let us consider some examples of these anti-apoptic genes and pro-apoptic genes. Some examples of these anti-apoptic genes is BCL2 and BCLX or BCX. These are the two proteins which are examples of anti-apoptic genes, BCL2 and BCLX, and examples of pro-apoptic genes is BAD genes, BAX genes and BAC genes, BAD, BAX and BAK. These are the three different types of genes which comes under pro-apoptic genes, and BCL2 and BCLX are under apoptic genes. Now, these are in basics of these cells, and in case of intrinsic pathways, a good student has to remember that there is key role played by the only mitochondria. Now, let us consider this is mitochondria. This is a mitochondria, and on surface of mitochondria it consists of special channels are also called special switches. These switches are made by using this BCL2 and BCLX. This BCL2 and BCLX, these are the two proteins which are helpful in maintaining the normal condition of these switches, so that inside of this inside the mitochondria it consists of harmful substances that are cytochrome C and apoptotic initiative factor. Cytochrome C and apoptotic initiative factor. These are the two which are present in the mitochondria. Now, the main function of this BCL2 and BCLX is to maintain the switches of this mitochondria, so that these cannot be entered outside of this mitochondria. Now, if we give any anti-cancer drug or any different types of drugs to these cells, now the action of these anti-apoptic genes will get decreased. Before discussing about that, here there is a growth factor. This growth factor will get activated and will show response or will stimulate these pro-apoptic genes and anti-apoptic genes. Now, this growth factor will show negative effect on, it will show negative effect on pro apoptic genes, and this growth factor will show positive effect on apoptic genes. Okay. Now this growth factor will inhibit anti-apoptic genes, and this growth factor will initiate pro and apoptic genes. This growth factor will show positive effect on here and negative effect on here. So the anti-apoptic genes effect will get decreased, and ultimately the pro-apoptic genes action will get increased. Now whenever this pro-apoptic genes action will be increased, now this BCL2 and BCLX action will get decreased. Ultimately this bad will be accumulated here. Now the place of this BCL2 will be occupied by BAD. Now there will be opening of these channels. Whenever these channels are opened, the cytochrome will be allowed to outside. Also AIF, here cytochrome and AIF will be flowing from mitochondria to the outside. It will flow from inside of the mitochondria to the outside. Now inside the cytoplasm, cytochrome C and apoptic initiative factor is situated. Now the cytochrome C will activate special type of proteins, that is executive caspase. It will activate with this cytochrome C, it will activate the executive caspase. Now it will damage the cytoskeleton, and it will damage the DNA and results in fragmentation. And the same process will be taking place as now. It results in formation of apoptic bodies and detachment of apoptic bodies and death of apoptic bodies. In this way, intrinsic pathway will be taking place, in which it is mediated by specially mitochondria, as there is two types of genes in which PAG genes, or that is pro-apoptic genes and anti-apoptic genes. Examples for anti-apoptic genes is BCL2 and BCLX, and examples for pro-apoptic genes is BAX and BAC. And these BCL2 and BCL3 are responsible for maintaining the switches at the membranes of mitochondria, which inhibit the flow of cytochrome C and apoptic initiative factor to flow from inner side to the outer side. But in some cases, the action of this BCL2 will get inhibited, and action of this pro-apoptic genes will get activated, and they will inhibit this BCL2 and BCLX, and they will occupy the space of this BCLX and BCL5, and they will increase the permeability of these membranes, and cytochrome C and AIF will get increased, and ultimately the cytochrome C and AIF will be accumulated in the cytoplasm, and this cytochrome C, whenever it is present in the cytoplasm, will activate the executive caspase. This executive caspase will damage the cytoskeleton and will damage the DNA and results in fragmentation and results in apoptic bodies, and apoptic bodies will result in death of these cells. This is about intrinsic pathway, and before we have discussed about extrinsic pathway. Now let us discuss T cell mediated apoptosis. T cytotoxic cell mediated apoptosis. Now T cell mediated apoptosis, let us consider this is one cell in which this is the cell membrane, and this is virally infected cell. This is a virus which is entered into the cell, and it consists of viral gene, this is a viral gene which is produced in the cell, and this cell consists of special types of receptors on surface, and that receptors are called MHC class 1. This is MHC class 1 receptors. Now this MHC class 1 receptors consist of viral antigens, which consists of viral antigens, and whenever this is attacked by T cell, let us consider this is one T cell in which it consists of T cell receptors. These are T cell receptors. Now these T cell receptors will bind with this MHC class 1. These T cell receptors will bind with MHC class 1, and there will be formation of one more structure, that is CD8 marker. This is CD8 markers. Now whenever this T cell will get activated, will get attached to this virally infected cell, now the first function which is done by these T cells is they will come closer to this cell. They will come closer to this cell, and this is TC cells, and these TC cells will release special protease enzyme. Now this protease enzyme will also activate this T. Before discussing about protease enzyme, this T cell consists of special peptides. These are the peptide molecules. Now these peptide molecules will get attached to the surface of this virally infected cell. In which it consists of peptides. Now whenever these peptides are formed, it results in formation of perforins. These are the holes which are produced on the surface of membrane, which are called perforins. These are called perforins. Now there is one more special types of proteins which are present in the T cells. Now when these special proteins which are present in T cell, with the help of these perforins, they will reach the inside of this cell. They will reach the inner side of the cell. These red colored structures are called granzymes. Now these granzymes will enter into this virally infected cell. Now these granzymes will inhibit the action, will kill this virally infected cell, and this is one of the examples of apoptosis. This is T cell mediated apoptosis, in which, let us consider, this is one cell in which it is virally infected, and this is viral protein which is produced in it, and whenever it is exposed from MHC class 1 molecule, this is MHC class 1 molecule. Now this viral antigen which is expressed from the MHC class 1 will be attracted by T cell receptors. It will be accepted by T cell receptors. Now after T cell receptors, it also forms CD8 markers, and whenever these are formed, the first function of TC cell is it will come closer to this cell membrane of virally infected cell, and next function is, this is first function, and next function is, as there are peptides are present in the TC cell, these peptides will be moving towards the cell membrane of virally infected cell. Now whenever these peptides are entered into the surface of this cell membrane, it results in formation of perforins on either sides of these peptides. After formation of perforins, there are special structures called granzymes. These granzymes will enter into this viral infected cell with the help of these perforins, and this, with the help of perforins, granzymes, it will engulf this viral infected cell and will help in killing of this affected cell. This is one type of apoptosis in which is done by T cell, that is cytotoxic cells. Now let us discuss last topic in apoptosis, that is p53 gene mediated apoptosis. p53 gene mediated apoptosis. p53 gene mediated apoptosis. Now let us consider one cell in which, let us consider this is one cell. This is one cell, and this is cell membrane, and this cell will undergo DNA replication. Let us consider this is a DNA material. This is stretching, unwinding of DNA, and there will be formation of new strands. There is formation of new strands. Now let us suppose one case, that is, if there is any damage in this newly formed DNA, there is any damage in the newly formed DNA. Now let us consider this is a protein in which it consists of genes, and this is one special type of gene. This gene will activate a special type of enzyme. The function of this special type of enzyme is, it will check the newly stranded DNA. If there is any alterations in the newly stranded DNA, then here there is master gene, which is the oldest gene in these proteins. Now it will send the signal to these master genes. it will send the signal to this master genes. Now this master gene will secrete special type of, it will activate special type of gene. This special type of gene, the function of this special gene is to stop the cell cycle. To stop the cell cycle. Now whenever this gene is expressed, now once again this master gene will produce another type of gene. This gene will helpful in identifying these alterations and resulting in making this altered gene into perfect gene. This is normal function. Now if there is any alteration or excessive alterations in this, now this special type of gene which is produced from this gene will send this signal rapidly to this master gene. Now this master gene will fail to stop the cell cycle and it will activate this special type of executive caspase, and this executive caspase will show its action. It will damage the cytoskeleton and it will damage the DNA, and it will damage the DNA and results in fragmentation and will form the apoptic bodies and results in death gene. This is P53 gene mediated apoptosis. This is complete picture of apoptosis.